What's going on, my friends? Chris here. I want to bring you all an update today. A Litecoin right now, we're sitting at $228. We're up about 22%. What I want to do, guys, was get into the technicals here and also the price action for Litecoin. And one thing I want to tell you, whenever you see an overreaction like we did yesterday and you have those massive drops, those are amazing trading opportunities. For me, it was one of my best trading days that I've had in this space. So regardless of whether you're going long, you're going short, there's always opportunities in this space, guys, if you're looking for them. And what I was playing was those oversold bounces. And what I ended up doing was entering Litecoin at $178. And that's the position, the position that I'm sitting in currently right now. And I'm waiting to see if we can get up through what is now going to be overhead resistance for us, and that's going to be at about $230. So this is going to be a very important day for us where we end up closing. And I also want to see how much penetration from this candle here that we get into yesterday's candle, because if we take a look at yesterday's candle, guys, this was one of the biggest drops that we've actually ended up having in one day for Litecoin. We ended up going down 51%. So typically when you see that 51% to the downside, most likely you'll make up almost half of it in terms of a bounce. And the most important thing for us that I believe, once we do find out our close for the day, say we do come back down today, or we'll say tomorrow or the next day, what I would look for us to do is set a higher low and then see if we can get up through this area, come back down, higher low, and then try to dig our way out of this. Basically, that's what we're going to be looking for. And guys, I wouldn't be so shocked, after today where our candle closes, if we do have a little hesitation, a little cool down before we try to get moving a little bit higher. But what I do like to see out of this is the fact that we do have heavier volume coming in. If we take a look at the volume for today, and remember this is all on the 1 day time frame here, if we take a look at the volume, we're at 815,000 Litecoin traded for volume. Our average volume is 764, so we already have more volume, and that's showing that there's interest coming in to Litecoin as we currently speak right now. But like we talked about, we want to see a nice strong close, a lot of penetration into yesterday's candle. If we take a look at the technicals, we have a 12 sell, a 9 neutral, and a 5 buy on the 1 day time frame. Oscillators 1 sell, 8 neutral, and 2 buy. Moving averages 11 sell, 1 neutral, and a 3 buy. And if we bounce out to the moving averages, something I want you to pay attention to as well. So for the moving averages, we are trading below the 20, which is going to be in purple here, trading below the 50 and the 100. So this is going to be a big area now. This 100 could act as overhead resistance correlating in this area here. Okay, so we got a nice bounce off the 200 EMA. Right? And now we're trapped between the 100 and the 200 here. So we may have a little bit of time, guys, where we move sideways in here before we try to break up through that. But when I look at Litecoin and I really step back here, it still does not look like this was the top for Litecoin, guys. And remember, with Litecoin, you always have to pay attention to Bitcoin. Bitcoin's going to be the driver of it. Like we talked about, Litecoin can have a perfect setup here, looking like we're going to go make a higher high, and it just doesn't because Bitcoin dumps. So always pay attention to Bitcoin. But it still does not look like that blow off top. And guys, we may not get a blow off top, but typically we end in these massive moves to the upside, this euphoria on massive volume. And you can see the volume over here. If I zoom in right here, you can see how high this volume is, right? And that marked the top. And then what you can see here, last March, we had really high volume. That could have marked the bottom there, okay? And we still have not had that massive high volume to the top yet that we'd be looking for to basically end the bull market. If we step back for Litecoin here, we had just barely gotten to the all-time high. And typically once you break out above that, that's when things get really fun. But, guys, anything can happen in this space. That's the dangers and the beauty of this space, that news can break and the price can go up 30%, or the news can break and it can drop 50%. We've seen this clearly here. And we know we had all the China FUD and everything else going on. But if we actually step back, you can see we found support right off this area here. And that was at about $150. And one thing I like to do, guys, is put those limit buy orders at really low positions just in case we have days like this. And then you can pick some up. And like right now, I'm already in profit. I'm going to wait to see what I want to do with that position as the day continues to proceed. Now, if we get into some lower time frames here, and also, guys, if you get some from these videos, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. If you ever want to help this channel out, I got some addresses in the description, and it's always appreciated. Try to bring you just the realest content I can without any of the hype, anything like that. I don't think we need it in this space. So here, guys, you can see massive selling volume to the downside here. Now we're trying to get this bounce out. We did have heavier volume, but we're going to need that continuation to get up through this $230. That's going to be a big overhead resistance for us. So that's on the 12 hour. If we get into the 8 hour, Same deal, heavier volume there, relative strength at 38. So we have room to go there. Then if we take a look at the 4 hour, this is something I'm really going to be paying a lot of attention to, is to see what type of bounce we get out of here. So if we get over top of 230, we're going to go up here and we're going to target, I would say roughly at about $267 could be the next area. But you know, guys, we have to take advantage of these things. When you have extreme volatility in the market, that's when you want to capitalize. And basically, I was sitting in cash from the last time that I sold out using those trailing stop loss like I've talked about. And then yesterday, I started to re-enter the market again. And these are the days that I'm looking for. So for me personally, it was a very exciting day. Lots of bounces to catch here. And we're just going to have to see where we end up going for the rest of the day and really watch those candle closes. But keep an eye on these areas, guys. We want to hold 146. We want to hold 187 as support. And we have to see if we can get up through that $230. I hope this helps, guys. Maintain your emotions. God bless each and every one of you. Take care, my friends.